Hey trappers, Dale Billingsley here, Billingsley Brand Lures. So guys, what I want to talk to y'all about today is wind direction as to setting. Okay, I think sometimes new trappers, whether they're young or old, doesn't matter. New trappers kind of get confused about this sometimes, I believe, and I think I might be able to help just a little bit. So let's flip this camera around and let's get right at it. All right, guys. So here we are. We're on a very good location here. This is one of my better locations in this part of the country. We've got a crop change here. We go from standing corn to hay ground. We have a 2-track going up through here. We've got a fence row right here beside us. This screams fox, coyotes, great big coon, bobcats. This is the location to be. So right now, this corner of the where we're filming right now, off this corner of this cornfield, this is the northwest location. Here in the Midwest, at least on this side of the big river, this is where our prevailing wind is from in the wintertime. It's from the northwest. So our first set would go right about where timber's standing, or even off of this tall bunch of bluegrass and fescue here, right here in front of us, right here. Okay, that would make a very good backing, and it would be right here towards the road. That's where the first set would go, is right there. Then we would come off of that just a little ways, and we would maybe pile up something here, this old cut hay or something here for a backing, or we go up there and cut one of the, dig up one of those button weeds and transplant it down here, whatever we might need to do to have a backing. Could be a rock, a block of dirt, whatever, or a block of wood, whatever it might be. But anyway, our second set would go right in here somewhere. Okay, so both sets, the wind is hitting us this way in the face. Then our next two sets, we would turn and we would put one right here. And then we'd come down here a ways and we'd put another one right here. But here's the deal. Both are still facing the road, all right? They're always facing the line of travel. And the reason we would put two sets here on the opposite side is to catch the switching wind when we have a storm come in. A lot of times that wind will switch over to the east, southeast, and it blows across this way, across the line of travel. I hope that's making sense to everybody. So your first two would be here to the northwest. Your next two would be to the east, southeast. All right, and then once in a blue moon, we'll get another. Sometimes, depending on the year, a lot of our storms will come up out of the southwest. They'll come up from Louisiana and the Texas line up out of the Big Bend country and come across this way to us. So we would put sets off down here. You have to play the wind, guys. You have to. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Now, another very good location would be right, I don't know how well you'll see it. I'll try to zoom in there. That big round bale right there, on this side of it is a corner where the ground kind of contours around. And sorry about that. Anyway, it kind of contours around there. So again, if we wanted to, we would put in 4 sets right there. Again, 2 up close to the edge of the corn and 2 back off out a ways. Give them 10, 15 yards out from the edge of that cornfield. Gosh darn, I'm having a heck of a time with this camera holding it steady today. I apologize, guys. But anyway, that way you would catch, again, both prevailing winds. So let's, I hope that's making sense. Let's go look at some more locations right quick. All right, guys, hopefully I've got this camera thing figured out. So here we are on another location. We've got a 2-track that runs right across the top of this knob and drops off down into that bottom below that hedge tree there at that ditch. Okay, it comes up here. We're at we've got another fence line right here, and we're at a gateway. All right. Now, the prevailing wind in the wintertime is the way we're facing right here. So, the obvious locations would be here and then back over here somewhere to catch that prevailing northwest wind. All right, now you would also, it would pay you to come to the head of this ditch right here and drop in a pair of sets. There's a little bit of a terrace right there. It would pay you to pop in a pair of sets right there as well. Anything that may be hunting up along here, instead of coming up this 2-track, they might break on you and come up through here. So it would pay you to pop in a pair of sets, at least a pair right there. Then you would put in a pair of sets here to the northwest. Then you could, right there where that cow waller is, pop in a set right there. If it's not going to get run over, if you're relatively sure the farmer is not going to run over it, that would be a heck of a location. Be hard ground there to work with just because it's so stomped and so compacted. But a little work, don't be so lazy, you can get a set in right there. That way you would catch that east wind blowing across the travel way should the wind switch on you. This little farm here is just, it is very target rich, I should say. There's a lot of locations here in a hurry. I've had as many as 18 sets in this little field right here that we're looking at. And it'll sure enough pay off for you if you do that. When they come through here, they come through here pretty heavy. So anyway, 2 sets here, 1 up here, another pair right down there on that little terrace. There's a little terrace right there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the camera or not, but right at the head of that erosion, there's a little terrace right there. Timbers marked that for some reason right there. So that tells me that we're not too far off a location right there. Then if you wanted to, you could always back up here away from the gateway a little bit, because you've got a lane that cuts right down through there as well. So you could poke in a pair of sets here. It's going to be a little hard on you here to stay out of the line of travel as far as the tractors and the trucks getting in and out. But if you wanted to chance it, you could always dig back, blow that out with a spade right there in that tall grass, and pop in a set there, and then come down here a little ways and pop in another one and do the same thing. Just take your spade, dig it way back in there a ways, throw that dirt out across this travel way here so that it gets their attention good. And I'm telling you, you do that, you're going to catch fur. All right, guys, so here we are again. And what we've got here, we've got this ditch that runs up through here that comes from across the road from that. There's a big old coal bank over there. That's where I get my coal shale from to bed with, and it, you know, in freezing weather, and we've discussed that. But anyway, this ditch comes up through here, and those fox and coyote, this is tremendous red fox country right here, are going to hunt right up through this swale up here to the edge of this cornfield. Now the first 2 sets would go right there against the high grass, again to catch that prevailing northwest wind that's coming at us. And then your next 2 sets would be just out here a little ways past where timber's taking a crap. And that way your prevailing wind again. Oh yeah, we're mean, aren't we? We're rough and tough. Anyway, the next 2 sets would be here, and that way the prevailing wind is always blowing across the line of travel. That's very important, guys. When I put my first 2 sets in, I want the wind hitting me in the face, and my next 2 sets, the wind is hitting me across the back of the neck. So that's something to always remember, and just keep in the back of your mind when you're doing this. All right, gang. All right, guys. So here we are. We're at another one of those tremendous crop changes. Laneway here, another crop change, and then the roadway, the gravel road with the gateway and the roadway coming up to it. And we're far enough up, you know, we're far enough up off of that gravel road that a coyote will still act like a coyote, a red fox will still act like a red fox. So again, here we are, we're facing east right now off the nose of that tractor, going right straight behind us. So pair of sets here, and then here off the corner, and then another one here off the northwest corner, and again off of about where the tongue or the hookup is to that mower conditioner right there. Those would be the locations. Again, the prevailing wind hitting us in the face the first 2 times, and then the next 2 times hitting us across the back of the neck. All right, guys, I just thought I would show you, try to zoom into it. Try to zoom into that coal bank right there. That's where I get all my coal shale to bed traps in, and there's enough there that I could get out of that the rest of my life, and I'm never going to use it all. So anyway, if you've got coal in your country, strip mines, you've got coal shale, I highly suggest if you've got it and can get it, but you need to be using it. It's a heck of a material to cover with. Very weatherproof, won't freeze. It's great stuff. All right, guys, so here we have kind of a unique situation. We've got that hedgerow coming up through there, that fence line, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a brush pile, a dozer pile right there to the north of it. So your first 2 sets would go at the dozer pile. Then your next 2 sets would go at the tree line. Then if you had permission on the opposite side where those sheep are, your first 2 sets would go to the tree line, and the next 2 sets would go out away from the tree line. That's just kind of a little unique situation there. That's for setting up fence lines, depending on which side that you've got permission and which side the canines or the predators are traveling on. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and end this video here. It's starting to rain on me, and I sure don't want to get my camera wet and everything. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you tuning in to watch. I appreciate everything you've done for my channel. If you would, please, if you just hit that thumbs up for me, that means so much to me. It also lets YouTube know that you like this kind of content. So anyway, guys, until next time, this is Dale Billingsley with another one. Signing out.